Hi guys, let's recreate this character animation with a jump and transformation today. Let's go. In Procreate Dreams, create a new file. I choose the square template. In the settings, frames per second to 12, duration to 3. Click Draw. Let's start with animating the basic skeleton of the character. Take a bright color. I choose Oberon as a brush and collapse the panel to flipbook. Let's start sketching a straight standing character. Draw a line of shoulders, spine, pelvis, arms, and legs, and add a head. Great, the first frame is ready. I want to make sure there is a short pause before he starts jumping. To do this, go to the timeline and stretch our frame into 3. So, the next frame. Draw a squat. The body moves down, the arms move back a little into axes, and the knees bend. In the next frame, draw the character in a maximum squat. He is in the lowest position, arms to the sides. In the next frame, the character is already hovering in the air, moving straight up. Arms are pressed to the body. The next frame is similar, only slightly higher. Then the head remains almost in place, only slightly higher, and we begin to bend the knees a little. Here you can add a little asymmetry. Now we draw the landing. The character flies sharply down, arms to the sides. And the frame with the landing, knees are bent. Return to the timeline. I move the first frame to the end, duplicate it and drag it back. This is necessary so that the duplicate does not move all the frames forward. Now we need to add frames when the character returns to its original state. Go to the onion skin settings and set the visibility of adjacent frames to 1. Draw a frame where the character is slightly higher than the final one to add a small bounce. Now I redraw the final frame because I want his arms to be to the sides and stretch it over 3 frames as well. Let's look at the first intermediate preview. I want to add a couple of intermediate frames. Add another one where the character is hanging in the air, and another frame where the character is already rising up. And I edit the hands a little to also create a small bounce. Let's watch it again. It's already better. Let's move on to the second part. We need to make another jump where the jacket will disappear. Duplicate the first frame again to place it as the final one. This is necessary for the animation to be looped. Let's start drawing the squat. Here the arms go up, the knees also bend. The second frame is a little lower, and the third frame is already in the lowest position. Next comes the takeoff, the arms are pressed to the body. In the next frame, at the moment of hanging, the legs bend. And another similar frame, a little higher. Next, we need to draw the landing. Move the final frame closer. In the onion skin settings, increase the visibility of adjacent frames. So, draw a frame where the character moves down. Then he touches the floor and squats. And another frame, a little lower. Now a frame with a rise, but a little lower than the final one. And a frame repeating the final one. Let's look at the preview. At the end, I want to add hand movement. Let's make an intermediate frame. I erase the hair from the first frame so that it does not interfere with the preview. I want to edit the hand animation at the end a little more. Now, let's stretch our animation. I stretch the frame in the middle, where the character is standing. To do this, you need to additionally tap on the screen so that the remaining frames move to the right. Super! The skeleton is ready. Let's move on to the next step. We will add a sketch of hair. On the new track, we draw hair straight up. In the following frames, the hair also moves straight down in the direction of movement. In the frame where the character jumps, the hair is directed downwards by inertia, also in the direction of movement. Then we draw how it gradually turns upwards. At the moment of movement downwards, the hair is directed upwards. Next comes the rise. Here the hair also turns downwards and gradually returns upwards. By analogy, we draw the second jump. The hair first moves downwards. During the jump it turns. When landing, the hair is directed upwards, and then we bounce to the finish. Let's look at the preview. I would like to slightly correct the moment of the turn. Also, the turn at the moment of the second jump. And the turn at the end. Excellent. Now we move on to creating a draft for the pants. In the first frames, we draw the shorts. Then we continue to draw the shorts at the moment of squatting. Next, when the character jumps, we begin to slightly increase the length of the shorts. In the following frames, we add asymmetry. The leg on the right increases faster. When the character lands, the pants are almost at their maximum size. And when the character is standing, the pants are already at their maximum size. In static frames, they can simply be stretched so as not to redraw them. Let's look at the preview. Let's add some dynamics to the shape. Where the character lingers at the top, inflate the pants from above, and at the moment of landing, do the same. When the character rises, add a small wave that moves from top to bottom. A few adjustments. Okay, let's add the second part. Here, the pants begin to gradually shrink back into shorts. First, draw the still long legs. At the moment of jumping up, begin to shorten them. And then asymmetrically reduce them to the size of shorts. When the character has already crouched, the pants have already transformed into shorts. Now we finish drawing the frames with the rise. To loop the animation, duplicate the first frame and visit the last one. Let's watch the preview. Let's shorten the legs a little earlier. And at the end, we can add a small bounce. We can cut the frames and adjust where necessary using the action panel. Great, another stage is ready. Let's move on. The jacket is next. I switch to a new track and choose another bright color. We collapse the panel into a flipbook. Let's move on to the frame where our character jumped. Here we draw small ovals. This will be the appearance of the jacket. Let's leave only the shoulders at first, then gradually increase the ovals on the shoulders, add them to the sides and also on the arms. The next frame is where the character begins to land. The appearance is a little larger. The arms are almost completely ready. And in the following frames, we continue to see the appearance of the jacket on the body. And then, at the moment of lifting, the jacket has completely appeared. Let's watch the preview. Let's continue. The jacket in its maximum form is in the frames with the squat. And at the moment of the jump, we begin to reduce the ovals back. By analogy with the appearance, we remove parts of the jacket on the sides and from the arms. And before the moment of landing, the jacket already disappears. Great guys, there are still a few details left. Let's draw the mittens. Go to a new track and take a new color. At the moment of the squat, we begin to draw stripes on the hands. This will be the appearance. And then gradually increase them. Let's add a small bounce, where the character is statically standing. A small preview. We continue, draw a decrease in the mittens at the moment of the squat, and gradually reduce to nothing. Great! Now by analogy, we add the appearance of the boots. We start with small stripes and gradually increase. On static frames, we stretch the boots. And then we make it smaller. I think it looks great. What's left? Let's add a scarf too. On a new track, I draw the appearance of the scarf, somewhere before the static frames. Gradually, the scarf is tied and swings left and right. A small preview. Great, now let's add frames with the scarf disappearing. It bends a little and gets smaller. Look at the final of our sketch. We did it! But a big stage with cleanup awaits us ahead. First, we go to the timeline edit mode, select absolutely all layers and group them. Now go to the default mode by clicking on the active icon again. Here we can center the animation on the canvas as we like. Now call the action panel on the first frame and apply transparency. Let's start by drawing the body, choose a color, adjust the brush thickness. Now the task is to make an even and smooth outline, which will be the final one in this animation. Frame by frame, we outline the character's body. The main thing here is to focus on the set and on the neighboring frames so that the animation is smooth. I will speed up this routine process since there is nothing unusual here. We just outline the frames. Where the trigger appears, I draw only those places where the body is visible. We also duplicate the first frame and place it at the very end. Preview. Gorgeous! Now we move on to drawing the pants. Sure, we do it on a new track. Let's speed up, everything is similar here. Watch the preview. The next thing is the hair. On the new track, we outline the draft frame by frame. Where we start with static frames, we can simplify the drawing a little. If we simply stretch the frames, we will lose the effect of hand drawing. Therefore, we draw 2 frames and mix them up throughout this moment. Preview. I like how it turns out. Now let's draw the jacket. On the new track, we draw the outline. Let's go. We do the same with the static frames of the jacket as with the hair. Let's watch the preview. Now we draw the mittens. Another preview. Let's move on to drawing the scarf. Let's speed up again. How do you like our animation process? I think it looks good. Now we just need to finish drawing the boots. Let's go. Watch the preview. This is the final of our cleanup. Guys, the next step is filling all the created shapes with color. I did this in the background since the filling is not so interesting to watch. This is what I got. What do you think? I hope you found it useful or interesting. Write your impressions and wishes for future videos. Thanks and see you.